Some stories are never finished, they're just filed away. Welcome to Chronicles of the Obscure. Picture this. Central Anatolia, around 1200 BC. The once mighty Hittite Empire, a superpower of the Bronze Age, is on its knees, collapsing under the weight of famine, internal strife, and relentless waves of invaders. Its magnificent capital, Hattusha, a city of towering stone walls and grand temples, is about to be sacked and burned. In the chaos, as enemy soldiers breach the gates, a small group of priests scrambles through the labyrinthine corridors of the city's most sacred temple. Their mission is desperate: to hide the empire's most precious, most powerful object. It's a glowing green stone, a relic said to hold the very voice of the gods, the divine mandate of the king himself. They succeed, but maybe a little too well. Fast forward over 3,000 years. Archaeologists begin to unearth the ruins of this forgotten capital. They find incredible things. Vast libraries of clay tablets detailing every aspect of Hittite life, from royal decrees and international treaties to simple grocery lists. They uncover intricate carvings on temple walls and royal seals. And within these records, they find repeated, detailed descriptions of this sacred green stone. They see it depicted in art. They read about its use in coronations, and they learn of its immense power. But the stone itself, it's gone, vanished. Not a single fragment, not a shard, not even a speck of dust has ever been identified. This isn't just another story of a lost artifact that was stolen or misplaced. This is the story of an object that seems to have been deliberately and completely erased from the physical world, leaving behind only whispers baked into clay. So, what do we actually know? Let's open the evidence locker. First, we have the texts. Multiple cuneiform tablets, the hard drives of the ancient world, refer to the Na4ZAGRN, the Sumerian logogram for a precious green stone, likely jade or nephrite. These texts are explicit. They describe how the stone was used in the coronation rites of Hittite kings. One particularly tantalizing text says it shined with the light of Teshub, the supreme storm god of the Hittite pantheon. This wasn't just a pretty rock, it was a conduit for divine energy, a physical manifestation of a god's favor. Then we have the carvings. In the stunning open-air rock sanctuary of Yazilikaya, just outside Hattusha, there's a relief that feels like a snapshot from a forgotten ritual. It shows a figure, likely a priest or the king himself, holding a distinct oval-shaped object towards a depiction of the storm god. The object's shape and context match the textual descriptions of the green stone perfectly. It's a visual confirmation of its existence and its central role in Hittite religion. Now for the context. The stone was kept in the heart of the capital, within the Great Temple, also known as the Temple of the Storm God. Access was incredibly restricted. Only the king, who also served as the high priest, and a few select members of the highest clergy, could enter its inner sanctum. It was the ultimate symbol of legitimacy. To possess the stone was to possess the divine right to rule the Hittite lands. Its presence validated the entire political and religious structure of the empire. And then, silence. After the final chaotic years of the empire around 1180 BC, all mentions of the stone abruptly cease. There are no records of its destruction, no triumphant enemy accounts from the Assyrians or the Sea Peoples boasting of its capture. The Hittite scribes, who meticulously documented everything, left no final entry about its fate. It simply disappears from the historical record as completely as the city of Hattusha itself was abandoned to the elements. This total void has, of course, led to a host of theories. Let's head over to the theory board. Theory 1 is ritual destruction. Faced with the inevitable fall of their capital, the priests may have enacted a final, desperate ritual. To prevent the stone's immense power from falling into enemy hands and being used against them, or to legitimize a foreign ruler, they might have deliberately destroyed it. Not just hidden, but annihilated. Smashed into dust and scattered to the winds, a sort of spiritual decommissioning to ensure its power returned to the gods and could never be wielded by mortals again. Theory 2. It was hidden in a royal tomb. Unlike their Egyptian neighbors, the Hittites didn't build giant pyramids. Their kings were likely buried in rock-cut tombs, carved into the cliffs and hillsides of Anatolia. Crucially, not a single undisputed Hittite royal tomb has ever been found. It's possible the green stone was considered the ultimate grave good, sealed away for eternity with a king, perhaps the very last Hittite ruler, Suppiluliuma II, to accompany him into the underworld. If this is true, the stone isn't lost. It's just waiting in a location we haven't discovered yet. Theory 3 is that it was looted and rebranded. This is the most conventional explanation. The invaders who sacked Hattusha, whether the Phrygians, the Kaskians, or another group, simply took it. But why no record of it? Perhaps its significance was lost on them. To the conquerors, it may have just been a large, valuable piece of jade. They might have recarved it into something else, like a statue or jewelry for their own king, or even melted it down if it contained precious metals, completely erasing its original identity. The green stone of Hattusha could be sitting in a museum today, hiding in plain sight as a Phrygian statuette or an Assyrian seal. Theory 4 is a bit more abstract. It was never a stone at all. Some scholars propose that the green stone was a powerful metaphor, not a literal object. In this view, it represented the concept of divinely sanctioned kingship itself, an abstract idea of legitimacy and power. The texts referring to it were symbolic, and the carvings were allegorical, not depictions of a physical item. When the empire fell, the stone, the concept of Hittite kingship, vanished with it. This neatly explains the lack of physical evidence, but it feels a little less satisfying than a tangible mystery. Finally, there's Theory 5, the one that keeps archaeologists digging. It's still in Hattusha. It's easy to forget the sheer scale of this ancient city. To date, less than 40% of Hattusha has been properly excavated. Vast areas of the upper city and the Acropolis remain untouched beneath millennia of soil. The stone could be right where the priests left it, hidden in a secret, lead-lined box, buried in an undiscovered storage chamber deep beneath the ruins of the temple complex, waiting for the right shovel in the right place. Modern technology has only made this mystery more tantalizing. In the 2010s, ground-penetrating radar surveys were conducted across the site. These scans revealed several fascinating anomalies. Large, void-like structures deep underground near the temple of the storm god. These could be anything: natural caverns, collapsed cellars, or they could be intentionally sealed chambers, exactly the kind of place you'd hide your civilization's most sacred object. Unfortunately, a combination of political instability in the region and chronic funding shortages for archaeological projects has meant that these promising targets have yet to be excavated. They remain tantalizing question marks on a digital map. Meanwhile, the legend of the green stone has taken on a life of its own, blurring the line between archaeology and myth. It has inspired treasure hunters, both amateur and professional, and become a popular trope in historical fiction novels. The search is occasionally punctuated by moments of false hope. In 2021, a fragment of worked green jade was discovered near the Syrian border, in an area that was once part of the Hittite Empire. The internet buzzed with speculation. Could this be it? A piece of the long-lost relic? But scientific dating soon dashed those hopes. The artifact was Roman, crafted more than 1,000 years after Hattusha fell. The ghost of the green stone continues to hover just out of reach, a perfect blend of history and legend. Ultimately, the green stone of Hattusha is more than just a missing piece of ancient treasure. Its story is a powerful lesson in how ancient societies encoded their most fundamental beliefs about power, legitimacy, and the divine into physical objects. And it demonstrates how those objects can vanish so completely that they begin to challenge our very definition of what is real. Its absence forces us to ask a fascinating question. Can something be considered real if its only remaining trace is in descriptions? Can a story be so powerful that it becomes the object itself? And if, one day, an archaeologist's trowel finally strikes a green, gleaming surface in the soil of Hattusha, what will they have found? Will it be just a stone? Or will it be a key, unlocking a deeper understanding of how empires make the intangible tangible, how they turn a belief into a thing you can hold? The story is unfinished. What do you believe happened to the greenstone? Was it destroyed, hidden, stolen, or was it never real to begin with? Share your theory in the comments below. And for more stories from the lost files of history, make sure you subscribe to Chronicles of the Obscure.